Let's now turn to the how question. What steps can be taken for you to implement the equipped quality system? For implementing the research quality system, the first step that we suggest is to get familiar with the key terms used by equipped. These are phrases such as research quality, research rigor, raw data, knowledge claiming research. These definitions are provided on the Toolbox website, where a dedicated page describes various aspects of the quality system implementation. It may seem unnecessary, but different people can use these phrases in slightly different ways, and you'll find your interaction with the equipped quality system much easier if you understand the precise sense in which we're using them. As a second step, we suggest you take a closer look at the equipped expectations. More specifically, you may want to check how many core requirements you meet without any additional effort. As we discussed earlier, you may be surprised by how much you already have in place. A related and strongly recommended exercise is to go through the list of what equipped calls red flags. This analysis will help you reveal at this early stage whether and where major challenges may be encountered. For example, securing long-term storage of raw, that is, primary data, is seen as essential and therefore must be established as one of the basic data integrity steps. Your attention will be drawn to data stored being secure, and in case of electronic data, equipped sees regular and permanent backups as being essential to secure long-term storage. And once this review is complete, you will be prepared to answer a simple question. Are most core requirements met with no red flags? If the answer is yes, we suggest that you complete the self-assessment using the provided template, send it to the equipped team for consultation, or simply complete the remaining requirements using information provided by eqipd.online. And once all core requirements are considered to be met, please approach the equipped team that can do an assessment and, in the case of a positive evaluation, will certify the successful implementation of the quality system. If there are gaps, however, if you do need to deal with potential red flags, we suggest that you use the equipped tools and follow the suggested implementation path, either alone or guided by the equipped team. For such a scenario, the implementation is broken into 3 consecutive phases. The first phase provides the basis without which the rest is not possible. First, you download the equipped planning tool to your local computer and make sure that the tool is functional. At this stage, you need to make sure that there is someone who takes the overall responsibility for the quality system and its implementation, someone who has the authority, the knowledge and the access to resources required. We call this someone the process owner. The process owner should formulate why she or he is prepared to drive the quality system implementation, why quality matters for her or his organization. An answer to these why questions should be written down and shared and communicated with their team. Equipped believes that if there is no clear understanding of and acceptance for why quality matters, implementation efforts may not actually be that meaningful. At this last step of this first stage, the process owner and the team make sure that they have robust data documentation practices in place, and simply put, the expectations are firstly, that raw data are generated, handled and stored in the correct way, and secondly, that one can find the raw data which corresponds to the published report or the reported data. We call this traceability, and such data traceability exercises are key elements for demonstrating robustness of the data documentation process. As already discussed, Equipped doesn't prescribe which tools and methods are used to secure data storage or to ensure data traceability, only that they exist and that they work. So we recognize that organizations have different starting levels, operate in different environments, both culturally and professionally, and bring different experiences to bear. Therefore, our aim is not to make everyone's practices the same, to make them alike. The goal is to have everyone meet a certain minimum standard. The second phase of the quality system implementation is truly flexible and is driven by individual user needs. What do we mean by these user needs? This concept is central to the equipped quality systems philosophy. Let's say you're looking at a list of core requirements and you don't know where to start. Yes, of course, you can address them in alphabetical order or start randomly, but we suggest a different and a less burdensome approach. We suggest starting by reviewing what your institution, your funder, your publisher, your collaborators expect of you, or you anticipate they may expect in the near future. We've created several examples of such needs that you can find online at our website, and you can analyze your performance against these needs using the tools that we provide. And expectations of your environment may then help you prioritize what to address first and what aspects might be left for later. For instance, your funder may feel very strongly about research rigor and has communicated certain expectations around about this. One of these expectations is that you apply randomization when designing and conducting your studies. And it may be that this is something that you have not routinely done before, or you've done it perhaps in a way that you think might be suboptimal, for instance, using pseudo-randomization. eqipd recommends developing and implementing a proper, fit-for-purpose randomization protocol. To that end, eqipd provides specific guidance on how to build such a protocol, what should be considered, provides templates for these and examples, as well as supporting literature and links to software and other tools that help implement the randomization process. And then armed with this knowledge, you can develop a randomization protocol, communicate it to all colleagues who may use it or may need to be informed about it, and in some cases even provide training to make sure that randomization is well understood and correctly used. When randomization is then applied, it's important to evaluate whether the objectives are reached, whether there are errors occurring, to ask colleagues whether there's anything else that could be improved, and if that's the case, then the protocol can in turn be improved and revised, and this cycle followed again and again. So it's important to emphasize that eqipd does not prescribe how a randomization protocol should look and whether it should be a standalone document or a part of a study plan. It's up to the researchers, up to you to decide what your solution looks like and when and how it's implemented. And this example allows us to illustrate an important feature of the eqipd quality system implementation. You work on what you need. You address the expectations of your environment, your funder in the example, and as a byproduct, develop what the system needs. Actually not, you develop what the system is, a system of effective communication, training and performance monitoring with continuous improvement. Working on the needs of your nearest environment helps move the focus of the implementation from the quality system itself and facilitates acceptance of all these efforts. By the time you've reviewed and addressed the current and emerging expectations of your environment, most core requirements of the eqipd quality system will already be fulfilled. Now, you could stop there, as your research is most likely already at a high level, or you may review the remaining core requirements to complete development of the quality system. And we do recommend taking this final step for two reasons. Firstly, being able to meet current expectations and requirements makes your organization fit for today's purpose of research. Having a fully functioning quality system makes you also fit for tomorrow. Secondly, most work has already been done, and you may now benefit from being able to claim what some people may call a quality label for your research, a quality label that will help build further collaborations, attract funding, and increase confidence from yourself and others in your data. In other words, you will use the eqipd quality system to build or strengthen trust within your research network. Trust is the key word when it comes to explaining how the eqipd quality system is built and how various aspects of the quality system should be implemented. For example, there's a frequent question: how much documentation does eqipd require? The answer is simple. For eqipd, documentation is nothing else but just one way to make sure that the requirement has been addressed. For example, one core requirement that is typically addressed at the very end reads, resources for sustaining the eqipd quality system must be available. For eqipd, in this case, it's not the documentation that's important, but that lack of resources should and cannot be used as an argument for not following research best practices. The same philosophy underlies the assessment of quality system performance that is conducted by the eqipd team. The key principle behind the eqipd assessment process is of transparency. Let's take an example, one of the core requirements that reads, critical incidents and errors during study conduct must be analysed and appropriately managed. Now, based on our experience, we do not expect to see organisations that never make errors and have no accidents. But in fact, you wouldn't be surprised to see a laboratory where several people over a number of years working across a number of projects using various methods and research instruments, and yet if you looked at the laboratory notebooks, there would be no records of errors or accidents. No records and therefore no opportunities for learning. Therefore, for eqipd, actual example of errors are more valuable because firstly, they do demonstrate the quality culture of the organisation, but also they allow us to illustrate an important role of quality management, that it's not to detect mistakes for punishment, but rather to provide material to allow and information to allow the continuous improvement using errors as indicators of where further work needs to be done. So to conclude, how do you decide whether the eqipd quality system is what you need? We believe that the answer will be yes, it is, if firstly, you see the value of higher standards of rigour in research to achieve more robust and reliable results. You are willing to learn about and adopt a quality mindset and are prepared to invest efforts to set up the eqipd quality system. The answer is yes if you can use the eqipd quality system to strengthen a grant application, to support decision-making in drug discovery, to promote your services, or bolster your reputation, or both. And the answer is yes if you're motivated by your funders, publishers, and collaboration partners to secure high research rigor standards, for example, as a condition of research funding or collaboration. Or perhaps you know your standards of rigor are already high, you continue to strive to improve them further, and you'd like to establish the eqipd quality system as an independent seal or endorsement of that quality. With that, I thank you for your attention, and I hope that the resources listed here on this final slide will help you to adopt and to use the eqipd quality system. Thank you very much.